The plan. The plan was be on the dyno by April 1st. Well, it's April 1st, and the only fool here is me. Nowhere near ready. Not going to happen. I think I got about another month here, give or take. I'm starting to run into places where my fabrication ability doesn't meet up. Running into waiting for tools. Got to get a battery ordered. At that point, I can fire up the ECU and make sure everything works. Got to get the swing arm back on. I've got to go through and get the plate down. And you'll see tonight how I'm getting everything ready for the plate. I've decided that I'm going to mount all of the thingamawobbers, the filter and the pump. They're both going to get mounted with hose clamps, basically. You know, just pump clamps. One's getting a T-bar clamp, one's getting a fancy aluminum, whatever. So they'll sit on the plate. I've still got a little bit of work to do there to make that happen. But I think by the end of next week, I'd like the fuel system done, other than fittings and lines. And then it should be getting on to Bonneville specific prep here pretty soon. So as part of, which way do I go here? There we go. Come on. So as part of what I'm doing here, I'm going to have to come up with a lanyard-based kill switch, kind of think jet ski type stuff. Another switch for a fuel shutoff that'll go to that pump. I may just run that switch to both the fuel pump wire and that. We'll see. And those don't have a place to live on the bike, so I got to figure those out. The other thing I got to do is figure out a steering damper, required by class rules. So from here up to here, need a damper. I guess I could do one up here, but I've got a standoff on the frame. The OEM part to do this is well beyond available anymore, so I'm going to have to put something together, and yeah. So we're getting close. I still got to do the throttle linkage. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I'm kind of dodging doing that work because it scares me. I'm working on the swirl pot. So instead of doing a 4x4x8 box, I'm doing a 3-inch by about 6-inch tube. And then putting a cap on it, putting some bungs on it, and I will run a barb into it like I was planning. Unfortunately, I'm starting to run into an order of operations issue where I wanted to kind of zap it all into place and get the mounts on it. And since I don't have a TIG welder and we're going to TIG weld this part just so I don't have weld everywhere and it doesn't leak, I'm kind of stuck on getting it mounted and everything. So, as you can see, I've built a small swirl pot here, and it's got a little 10-degree kick on the bottom just so it always drains down to the corner, which means it's a little wobbly on the bottom. 6A in out at the bottom, 6AN in at the top. That'll be from the filter. I've got a little filler cap on top. Thank you, Lowbrow Customs. And these are, if you'll recall from a prior video, these are those cool little feet that I did on the plasma machine. And so it's going to get one of these 120 degrees apart, and then that's how it'll bolt down to the plate. So having now lit my hoodie on fire, I have my fuel pump or fuel filter mounting solution, and it's real easy. Yet another one of those little tabs I made knowing they'd be handy, welded to a T-bar hose clamp, so that will bolt through, and when that bolts through, then it'll sit there. I can slide the filter in, bolt it down. It ain't going anywhere. It's snug on there. So, I mean, it'll work. It's low clearance. I can bend it if I need to. Should be pretty good. These are my little footies. So again, the little tabs we made before, only these are the short versions that slip under bolts. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've drilled the standoffs for 13/64, give or take. They're going to get drilled for 6mm. And so these get kind of zip-zap to here. And then that'll give me a known offset from the center of the holes in the plate to drill this hole. And then once I have that offset, these will mount onto the plate. The plate will mount to these standoffs. I get clearance for, well, I think this is the broken one. but I get clearance for this guy, and then I should be able to put the plate in.